Hello, and welcome to Tracy Momi Reads. So, I am back this week with a video. Now, I know that National Poetry Month or day or week or whatever, I know that was back in April, but I missed the boat on that. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, some poetry books. Now, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of poetry, because I'm not a fan, you know. I mean, I like poetry, but it's not one of my favorite types of like writing or mediums or books. But I love quotes though. You know, I refer to quotes all the time, and you know, words of wisdom that have been more than likely misattributed to people who didn't even say it, but nevertheless they provide inspiration, encouragement, motivation. And there are some poems that I'm going to be talking about today that I feel like are in that same vein. Even though they're poems, there's a deeper message, and it's almost like something quotable, or something that can provide you with a clarity or like an aha moment. One of my favorite, I have another book of hers that I couldn't find, but I love Rupi Kaur. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I love her work. Oh my God, I really love her. This is one of her books, The Sun and Her Flowers. And then this is another one, Milk and Honey. And as you can see, like, I have some of the things flagged. One of my favorites in this particular book, The Sun and Her Flowers, you know, this really struck a chord with me, you know, having turned 50 recently, well, now 51. But I even shared this with the community that I've created, The Face of 50. They convinced me I only had a few good years left before I was replaced by a girl younger than me, as though men yield power with age, but women grow into irrelevance. They can keep their lies, for I have just gotten started. I feel as though I just left the womb. My 20s are the warm-up for what I'm really about to do. Wait till you see me in my 30s. Now that will be a proper introduction to the nasty, wild woman in me. How can I leave before the party started? Rehearsals begin at 40. I ripen with age. I do not come with an expiration date. And now, for the main event, curtains up at 50. Let's begin the show. It still kind of gives me chills, because with this particular poem, I mean, I feel like that she's basically kind of hit all those milestone ages, especially for women, where we kind of transition and move closer and closer to the person that we were meant to be. So yeah, a lot of her poetry is about growing and blooming, which is kind of an ode to the title here, The Sun and Her Flowers. So this is a really good one if you're looking for some inspiration, you know, and it's not just for people, you know, aging. It's just for about growing into who you're meant to be. The poems in here kind of speak to that. And then in Milk and Honey, yeah, this is more about love, relationships, and you know, things like that. So this is a good one too. I'm trying to see if there's a particular one in here that I want to share. I mean, most of them are really brief. Like this one, it says, "Do not bother holding on to that thing that does not want you," and it's titled, "You Cannot Make It Stay." Let's see, what is another good one in here? Our backs tell stories no books have the spines to carry. And this one is called Women of Color. So yeah, there's just like a lot of books like that about kind of, you know, relationships with other people, relationships with yourself, surviving, healing, and things like that. This is a really good one, Milk and Honey. Then let's see. Then I have this book by Jill Scott. Jill Scott is also a well-known, celebrated Grammy-winning R&B singer, and she's also an actress and author, but she penned a book of poetry. This was a while back. Let's see, what is the one here I've flagged? Her book the name of it is The Moments, the Minutes, the Hours, the Poetry of Jill Scott. And I think that it's just different things that have happened throughout her life. She kind of put pen to paper and talked about those things, and turn them into poems. And this one, I like this one. It's called Envy. You should see her. She got hips that sway and dance for no good earthly reason. Lord, make her just like me. No, make me better. Make me the kind that can change the weather, stop tornadoes and heavy storms from tearing down the shingles. I want to stop traffic. I want them to moan and lust. I want to be bold and sexy, sexy like that. Make me hot, like they say on videos. I want to be a 12 out of a 10. No, a 14. Shoot, make me a 25. Then I know I'll be happy, just like Halle Berry. And that particular poem talks, speaks to definitely self-confidence and how we look at other people and we covet what they have. We want to look how they look because we think if we had that thing, that look, it would make us happy. And that's sadly not the case, because that's an internal thing, it's an internal work that you have to do. But yeah, I like, there's a lot of good poems in here, and I love Jill Scott as an artist. So if you're looking for, something kind of deep and introspective, Jill Scott's The Moments, the Minutes, the Hours. And then a last book, this is by, Nikki Giovanni. Like, she is like the epitome. When you think poetry, she's one of the names that should pop up in your top 5 or top 10. This book is actually, she's been around for a long time. This collection of poetry, I think I can't remember where I got this book from. It's like a thrift store, I think. But these are poems that she penned from 1968 to 1998. So over a 30-year period. So she's been around for a while. And there's quite a few poems in here, but I flagged this one. I really like this one. It's called House Cleaning. I always liked house cleaning, even as a child. I dug straightening the cabinets, putting new paper on the shelves, washing the refrigerator inside out. And unfortunately, this habit carried over. And I find I must remove you from my life. I love that ending, because you're like, where's she going with this? And it's just kind of like, that there's a metaphor there. As I clean my space around me, I want to have this tranquil, peaceful place, and it's also, I want that in my mind and in my heart. So if you're cluttering up my life, then I'm gonna have to remove you, just like I take out the trash. So I really like that one. That one's pretty deep. And that one is called The Collected Poetry of Nikki Giovanni from 1968 to 1998. Yeah, so like I said, I love reading like inspirational quotes, poems, things that are bite-sized, that make an impact, that you can kind of reflect on and kind of pull from when you need it, as we go through different cycles of life, ups and downs, different ages, stages, and just having those reminders. Because a lot of times, whether it's poetry, whether it's quotes, it's stuff that you inherently already know, really deep down, or that you've heard a million times, said a million different ways. But to have those reminders and have something that resonates with you, it's good to have that sometimes. So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about today. Some little poems that, I find inspirational, that have kind of helped get me through some tough days. So if you have a favorite poem or poet that you'd like to share, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you guys next week with another book review.